Hi guys, as usual you are listening to Vol, and just noticed recently on my YouTube page that I'm about to hit 1,000 videos. Wow, it's been a while. I remember many years ago when I first put that first video up on YouTube, and it was StarCraft Brood War, and I couldn't get away from saying and ah every second word, and it seems like so long ago, but I was really into StarCraft back then, and StarCraft was really big on the sort of commentary stuff, and a lot of people really liked watching my videos and listening to me talk, so continued doing it, and obviously moved from StarCraft to other things like Warcraft 3, Dawn of War for quite a while, did some videos on some random, reviews for other games like Diablo and Space Marine or whatever it was, and obviously into tabletop gaming with Warhammer 40,000, Warhammer Fantasy, and eventually War Machine and Hordes, which I've been covering lately. And next year my big game is really going to be poker. So yeah, video 1000 coming up next. This particular video is about Rallypoint, just to cover off the backlog of videos that I'm out of date with. But yeah, I was just wondering if you guys wouldn't mind posting a response to this video in the feedback, or sending me an email, and just seeing if you have any suggestions about what you would like to see for video 1000 from Vol. There's a few things I could do. I mean, obviously I'm not going to do any Warhammer Fantasy, I've talked about that before, but I could simply talk about some things in my life, or about something that's important to me, like poker or the novel that I'm writing, or something completely different. But just open to ideas at this point, and hopefully I'll have something interesting for you. Video 1000. Merry Christmas, by the way, to everybody. It's Christmas Eve for me today, Christmas tomorrow. Going to hang out with my family. And yeah, sorry about the lack of updates, obviously. Just focusing on the two things that are important to me at the moment: playing poker, which I'm continuing to do and continuing to improve at, and writing my novel, as I mentioned a few times before, which I will be advertising a bit more on my page down the track. Hopefully you guys can help me to promote that a little bit, even if it's just as small as liking a Facebook page or something like that. But yeah, perhaps let's just get into the War Machine and Hordes. So here it is here. Let me just find it. There we go. So this is back in November, so we're really nearly a couple of months out of date. I decided to play Circle because Rallypoint's really my only tournament of the year where I like to play Circle. Just started to have another stab at it. Morvana's the most powerful, Warcaster Warlock, I should say, in the faction, so I'm playing her with a very standard list, and my other caster is P. Kruger, because he can deal with infantry spam very effectively, and unfortunately this is a divide and conquer tournament, so you have to play both your casters an equal number of times except for the last round. And first matchup was up against Epic Makeda, but he left his caster within range of a double teleporting stalker and died. We've got Dave Stent and Luke Harvey having a grudge match, plus Josh borrowing my Menoth, so you can actually see my Menoth in that photo in the background there. So it was great to see two of my armies on the field that event. But yeah, second game was up against Mitchell with his Retribution from Wellington, and he's playing Ostian with the Space Stick. I've got P. Kruger for this one. And something really unlucky happened in this game. I actually teleported one of my stalkers out to kill his Banshee, and rolled abysmally and left it on a few boxes, which was really, really annoying. So next turn I actually had to go for it, but he'd made a serious mistake by killboxing himself, so I was easily able to actually win by just moving over and getting 3 points out of him straight away. So quite a miss game, really. I would have liked to have a bit more of a tactical one against him, but due to his huge mistake and my bad luck, it turned out to be a really one-sided affair. But these things happen, and Kruger's a bit of fun to play with. You've got to be very careful with him, of course. Third game up against my very good friend Dave Dawn with his Cricks. Dave smashed me last time we played at a tournament in the finals of Choptober because I made a ridiculous mistake by triggering Metal and Corbo's Intrigue move. Dave sends his Texas up straight away, and I just annihilate all 10 of them in one turn, plus the UA, because of the lightning that this list can pump out. I've got 2 Geomancers and Kruger himself. So they're pretty good. Obviously the Lightning Tendrils, Feral's very good at killing things too. Got into a bit of a spot though because he got me on attrition, but then I managed to go in and assassinate Tenegra with Kruger himself, which worked out quite handily. Game 4 was against Mike, and he's in Wellington, from Wellington, I should say, with his Retribution, playing Epic Virus. Found this a really hard game. I was playing Epic Morvana, but in terms of attrition, obviously I can bring everybody back, but he's got so many jacks here that it's very easy for him to kill the Stalkers. So I traded one Stalker for like 1.5 Manticores or whatever he had. And then he managed to snipe my other Stalker with one Griffin from the Synergy Train. And I found I was in a really bad way there because I was continually having to cut with Morvana, getting into serious trouble. So at long last I teleported into E-Virus and just barely got there. I had to knock him down with a ram and then buy a whole lot of life trigger attacks. It only just killed him even though I was on no focus because I didn't have that many focus to spend. So pack leader after day 1, day 2, first round I got against Dave Stent, and he's playing Crix with Scabrous. Obviously I'm picking Kruger for this one because Kruger is really my go-to guy against Crix, just really able to deal with the infantry. And Kruger teleports over and puts down his feet against the Bane Thralls, which are packed up very tightly, but I'd forgotten that he'd put the +2 armor on them, so I needed to roll 8s, but luckily I did roll a lot of 8s, so that went very well on the left-hand flank, and I got him down to a position where he really had to go for an assassination. Kruger's behind a wall with 2 Fury on him, and basically has to send Tartarus and a bunch of Thralls in there to kill me, and didn't get the dice. It was a pretty decent assassination run he had there, but I think all things considered, being behind the wall with 2 transfers, I was probably just above 50% to survive, really, so fortunately that happened, and then I went in and killed Scabrous with my beasts. So just taking a look through, this was the painting round, so you can sort of see what sort of armies people had. There's the Retribution guy that I played, and as usual, lots of very well painted armies, quite a diverse field. I think there might have only been one faction that was underrepresented. There's Peter there with his circle, and yeah, just a really good showing. Rallypoint's always a good event, it draws a lot of people, and I think this was Trolls, yep. Nothing too special. That's Chris Russell there, my former flatmate whose army I painted, so that's my work on his models. Really interesting Menoth army here, very jack heavy. I think he was playing the Harbinger tier list or something like that. This looks to be Chris Ford, I think it is, from Wellington, and Chris Baker playing Menoth. He did a really good job on his Menoth, unfortunately. Didn't enjoy playing them as much and is selling them now, but really great job on his 3-os there. As you can see, wonderful blue stickers, not so much stickers but little seals. That's somebody's Trolls. There's my Menoth. Man, when somebody else is using my army, they just look so much better. I don't really understand why, but that's just the way of it. And Convergence of Cirrus, the big black cock, as you can see. Dave Dawn with Terminus. Really love the washes in his colour scheme as normal. And JS with his Gators. JS did very well this tournament, as far as I can recall. This is hometown Legion player from Hamilton. Greg Fitcher with his Circle of Ouroboros, and he's playing the Waldwrath with Morvana, and this is Gorn player that I beat in round 1. Really like the job that he did on Moloch Khan there, as you can see. And game 6 I'm up against JS. Morvana against Gators. Circle don't really like playing against Gators that much, but luckily Morvana helps you a lot in that matchup. He's got Barnabas, so having to get myself through the knockdown, and in this game did pretty well on attrition. Managed to kill quite a lot of Gators, and it got to a point where he really had to kill all of the remaining Skinwalkers to get up on attrition, but he managed to leave the last one on a few boxes left, so I brought my entire army back. But unfortunately what happened is there's a point where I've got one Stalker left to transfer to, and he played quite cleverly here actually, threw the Stalker outside of Morvana's control range, and that enabled him to go in for an assassination run against me, which I thought was quite well played. He definitely needed some dice to be able to do it, but I'd left myself an opening there, and he deserved the win. So this actually ended up being my first loss of the tournament. As you can see here, the Skinwalker's really just getting busy, but he managed to just get so much damage on them later. It worked out. So there's the final shot with Barnabas coming in, killing a Geller's Grove, and getting Bloodburn or whatever it is to fire a Flesh Eater at me. And last game of the tournament, I'm really playing off for third because the tournament organizer unfortunately screwed up the matchmaking process and actually didn't put the right people against the right people based on the scores and the rankings and who'd played each other. So I ended up having to play for third, even though I was tied for one loss with everybody else with less control points. And Peter actually outplayed me here. I made a few mistakes. He's playing Pikaya, but don't be fooled by Pikaya. She's actually got some decent matchups. She's got some horrible matchups, but unfortunately, with me playing Circle as well, I didn't really have the tools I needed to outmaneuver her, and Actually made a mistake with teleporting my feral and actually failing to connect with his one, and eventually lost on a scenario. So yeah, didn't do very well this event. I think I came 6th or something like that. Doesn't really matter. Had a decent time, but it's just a bit of a letdown. Don't really enjoy playing Circle that much, but been playing 3 Butcher a bit more lately because I've borrowed him off a friend, and that's been going really well. By the way, guys, I'm going to Australia in January for CanCon, so if you are from Australia, feel free to get in touch with me. I'll say hi to you at the event. Come say hi to me. It's my first time in Australia in like 20 years, so looking forward to that, and I'll catch you guys later. And don't forget to post your ideas for video 1000 from Vaul.